back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Tonight we're going to get started on 4 projects that we're going to be sharing with you, and we're going to be showing you not quite step by step, but understand that each of the tutorials that I show you tonight have a full video behind this, okay? So this is one of my favorite techniques, and the reason why it's one of my favorites is because this is a fused method. And so we took a burgundy poly burlap, an orange poly burlap, and kind of like a golden color of a mesh, and we fused that together. We took a simple 10-inch wreath form, and we added some plastic canvas that you can get at like Hobby Lobby in the yarn section or needlepoint. Okay, now this is just one basic technique, and that is called my single fold method. We are going to show you how to do this in such a way that it's not only going to be such a stunning wreath, it's really going to have a lot of texture to it. It's going to have a lot of dimension to it, and just the overall look is really good when you layer regular deco mesh and poly burlap together with my fused method. Now, if you're confused and like, Julie, I don't know how to do all this, don't worry, I have a full video that is totally for this particular wreath. And I just wanted to take the time before the busy fall season starts to kind of just briefly go over some of my favorite crafting tutorials that we've done here on YouTube so that you can go back, maybe watch something that you've missed, or maybe you've watched it before and you forgot all about it and you wanted to make it. So this is a little refresher. But as you can see, the colors are so vibrant. This is actually a remake of one I did several years ago. I've been on YouTube, I believe, since 2017. So this is just kind of like a refresher. And this is the leaf we're going to do. Again, we did that same fuse technique that I like, and we're just adding it in at the end here. I'm going to have a pre-made flower center. Back in the days, we had to make our own flower centers because nobody sold these. So it makes it a lot easier. You can grab these from Amazon, but you can also get these from all my favorite wreath supply companies. But again, I love this wreath. It will always be one of my forever favorites simply because the combination of deco mesh and poly burlap is just stunning. All right, let's get into another wreath that we did. Now this one, she's vintage Julie's Wreath Boutique, let me tell you. I mean, if you look at the thumbnail, it proves that this is definitely vintage. So basically what I did is I took an embroidery hoop. I think I got these at Dollar Tree. And I just took a ribbon that I had a lot of. I remember getting this ribbon on clearance from Hobby Lobby one year and cutting about 12 to 14-inch pieces, okay? Now here's the thing. You can do this with any type of wired ribbon. If you don't have wire in your ribbon, you're probably going to want to spray it with something that will stiffen it up. But this is a great and easy way to make a craft or make a, a wreath that is easy and is simple. Anybody can do this, and you can get rid of a lot of just like ribbon that you have on hand. Maybe you have some scraps, and that would be great too. So then what I did was we just did the edging on all of these ribbons. I like to do the method that is what we call the dovetail, and that's what we did. I had some leaves there thinking I'd add it to it, but I didn't. And then we just made a very simple bow by hand. All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to list this link to this video as well if you want to just make this simple wreath, or maybe you could just do it from just looking at this too. It's a pretty simple one, and again, very vintage Julie. You can tell because I don't have my nails on. I don't know, maybe we did this in 2020. That's very possible too. So you remember when we couldn't go to all of the salons, unfortunately, but you're just gonna tie it on to your little wreath there and make a little hook, and you've got a cute little wreath. Isn't she cute? I love it. All right, let's get on to the next one. We're going to do another fall wreath, but what we're going to do is take an ornament. Yes, this is an ornament. Now, this will only work if it is a foam ornament, and I cut them in two. I probably should have cut them a little differently simply because the top had that little, ribbon coming out of it. But, I can't go back and redo it. So we're going to get our center made, and then we're going to take this beautiful mesh. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this mesh is available in all types of seasons and colors. So if you don't want to use this for fall, that's totally okay. We're going to do my single petal method, and here's the catch. When you start that method, you want to make sure that the finish top is on the top and the finish bottom is on the bottom so that you don't have any cut edges, and all these stripes, they go the same direction, okay? So once you get the first layer on, we're going to add a different color of mesh. This is going to give us a little bit more dimension versus using just one just standard mesh. Now, this almost feels like a champagne color to me, adding it in. And so basically we're going to crisscross these, and now we're going to do the single petal fold, but now it makes it a double petal fold because we took two pieces of mesh and we aligned it together, okay? So when you're working with deco mesh, you need to realize that it's not as thick as other meshes. So you'll either need to do more pieces, or you might need to do a method like this where you're kind of taking out some of the work for you, all right? Now we're going to add this to the middle of our frame. We used a 10-inch wreath form. Typically for any flower wreath, I'm always going to tell you to use a 10-inch wreath form. And then basically what we'll do is now we're going to add one more layer of mesh, but it's just going to be that champagne looking mesh. Now, I can't remember. I want to say this original video, the mesh came from Trendy Tree. But now all you do is you add your ornament and you've got a beautiful wreath. Now, wasn't that easy? And again, don't forget the felt. Always put the felt on the back, and then you have a beautiful, just absolutely magnificent flower wreath. All right, so let's get into a fall mesh wreath. All right, so this one, she's a fun one. You're going to cut your mesh about 14 inches long. In this, I had used like a fabric mesh and this kind of a window pane mesh. Now we're going to ruffle this. We aren't going to make a petal or anything like that, but you're going to roll each side of the mesh inward, and then you're going to crisscross it. Okay, you're going to grab it by your hand, and then you're going to add it to your wreath frame. Now this is a 16-inch wreath frame. We're going to use it on the second wire going in, and then we're going to start kind of going up one wire and adding it, and then down one wire. So let me show you here. We're going to add it here, and then we're going to go up and back and forth. Now, again, like every single one of these videos, there's a long form video that you will be able to watch, and it's just a little bit easier in the long run to do this. Now, I did get this sign from Amazon. I used my little staple gun here, and I added some little pipe cleaners. Now that we got that done, we're going to make a beautiful bow for this. Now, I love the 4-in-1. You're going to grab and pinch. I have it starting off at a tail, and we're going to do 6-inch loops. Every time before I put it down between the two dowels, I'm always twisting it and then leveling it out on the other side and doing the same. Now, we're going to do this a few times, and then we'll add some other ribbon as well. But again, in the video, we go step by step. We go a lot slower, and it's just easier to follow. But this one was one of my favorites. I do give these wreaths away to our church. The ladies in our church have a ministry to like our widows and widowers at Christmas time, and so I always save them and give them to that little ministry there so that they can kind of like give them as gifts. So it's really a fun thing to do. So I remember doing this last year. Now I really love a good white and black stripe ribbon, and I love this little ribbon. This I got at Amazon, but it's out of stock. I don't know why, because I love this ribbon and probably everybody else loved it too. So we started off the bow with I think 3 or 4 loops of the plaid. Then we went with the stripe, had 3 loops on each side, and then we are leveling it out with the little burlap, which we did another 3 loops. Okay, so once you get it off of the stand, you're going to add your sign. And I like this sign because it had holes on the top so I could add one just part where I had to staple it in and not both sides. So it just made it a little bit easier. Then we're going to add our bow, and isn't she gorgeous? Now we can't stop here. We got to add a little bit of frills. We're going to take that same ribbon we used for the bow. We're going to cut it at about 10 inches. We're going to cross some of these ribbons and go back where we connected the mesh to the wreath form, and you've got a beautiful wreath. Now, of course, I had a few fall pumpkins, and we're going to add some of that into it. But listen, if you love this video, do me a favor. Give me a pumpkin emoji down below. Let me know which project you're going to do, and we'll see you next time in Julie's Wreath Boutique. Bye-bye.